Hi, this is my presentation for Communication Technology by myself, Garrett Cones. Introduction. People have always communicated, but the way in which people communicate has been changing and evolving, especially in the last few decades. Because of how fast communication has changed, it is creating some major unintended side effects that are taking a while for society to adapt to the individual. Now, this can be an issue, and usually is an issue when it comes to our personal relationships and our work environments. Technology is changing how society communicates. Communication technology is changing the way people communicate and live their lives. The way people communicate has changed due to advancements in communication technologies. Advancements in the hardware and software have made smartphones very capable machines, allowing people to communicate over vast distances and to do so instantaneously. This is good in some aspects because they are able to communicate with family that don't live around them, or in a work environment to be able to share your ideas and get work done even though you're not in the same area. Some of the drawbacks could be that there's miscommunication. There's a lot that is said with your body movements, body language, facial expressions, inflection of voice. So if you're doing it through text or some type of written form, you lose a lot of the audio cues. And if you're just doing it over voice, you'll lose a lot of visual cues. It makes it really hard to communicate effectively if you're doing it all through remote devices or remotely through a device. As time goes on, people find new ways to make their lives easier, and technology has altered the way people communicate. I communicate a lot differently than I used to. I remember back in the day, going to high school, and I didn't have a cell phone until like my senior year. I finally got one. It was given to me actually. I had to buy the minutes, but I never used it. Never had service. I didn't have very many minutes either. And it's just so much easier to use a landline. But things have changed. Now I don't even have a landline at home. All we have are our cell phones. And right now, where I live, I actually don't even have cell phone service. But I do have internet, which allows me to use the voice over internet protocol. This is neat because I can still communicate using my smartphone without having cell phone service, but it is cordless. I can also do FaceTime and surf the internet. And there's a lot of things that I can do with my smartphone device that is related to communications, but it is way different than the way that I started my life, I guess, or when I was a kid, And the younger generations are are growing up with smart devices, not knowing how things used to be and having instant gratification. Here's a slide showing the global smartphone users, and as you can see, there's quite a few users. There's tons of devices out there, and it's only growing. New technologies bring challenges. Because of how fast-paced the advancements in communication technologies, there have been a lot of challenges that have not been properly addressed. Some of those are with like employers. They're having a hard time finding people with the proper soft skills to do their jobs. The younger generations, millennials and even younger, seem to not have the ability to use their soft skills, nor are they able or willing to work in labor and trade industries. It's a big shift from the previous generations in how we live and work and communicate. And it all goes back to the soft skills and how they're developed. The older generations, they have the soft skills, and that's how society has been built, is off of these soft skills. And now we're changing things, or changing our abilities because of the lack of the soft skills, which means that those people that don't have the soft skills, they're lacking in them, are inadequate for the positions that are offered in today's world. Yes, there are a lot of jobs that are in technology and that you don't need soft skills, but those jobs are a small part of the whole pie, and it is very necessary to have those skills to be able to communicate with others. People are communicating with their devices more and more, and less in-person interactions. I remember, gosh, this was like 12 years ago. We were all sitting around at drill outside. Drills, military. I used to be in the military, and we'd go do our weekly warrior training. You know, it's 1 week in a month. So we got done with some training, and we were sitting around having lunch, and everybody was spread out, and everybody was on their smartphones. I guess they weren't smart at the time. They were just flip phones. And they were doing what they were doing on them, texting or calling or whatever. I remember a buddy of mine and I started texting each other, even though we were only sitting a few feet away from each other. And it was really funny because somebody made the comment, "Why are you guys texting each other when you could just look over and talk to them?" That now it is more so that way than it used to be. We would rather communicate through a device than a personal interaction. We're going to need more soft skills in society. Employers are having a really hard time finding people that have these qualifications, and they can find people that have the skills for the job, but they don't have the soft skills that is necessary for that job. And employers are now looking at hiring people that have soft skills but don't have the hard skills, just because it's so much easier to teach somebody those type of skills than soft skills. Here's a list of the different types of skills, the hard skills and soft skills. And as you can see, under soft skills, there's communication, flexibility, leadership, teamwork, and time management. Where on the other side, it's more of like, hey, you either have these things or you don't, like a degree or a certificate, how fast you can type. So like a physical trait, um, computer programming or whatever. My conclusion is that people are having a hard time developing these soft skills and are becoming so self-centered. People are becoming very unaware of what is going on around them, which makes it difficult for them to create relationships or even communicate with others in person. A balance to how, when, and where, or if we use our devices is necessary if we want to get back our humanity and be successful in both work and personal life. Thank you very much.